We're going to be talking about this Sealy Wolf EDG. So this is a budget closed emitter red dot that uses an RMR footprint. So we already have a bunch of mileage on this. I've been shooting it a ton. I've been using it as a loaner gun in class, letting students use it. I've been putting it in their hands just to get some extra rounds on it and let them see the optic. A few of them have already bought the optic for themselves to start learning how to shoot a red dot pistol and for the advantages that just having a red dot gives you. We can talk about that more later. But made it through a bunch of my classes. Contender carbine from Barrel and Hatchet. We actually put this gun in this Recover Tactical 2020 chassis. And Calvin Lim, former tactical response instructor, he ran that through that class, and I used my rifle. And then also I've lent this to students at Tactical Response when I was there and I was teaching, so they could run it through classes they were taking with Tactical Response. And basically it's held up, it's been great, and we have thousands of rounds through it with no issues. Now, why I think you should buy this one if you're trying to get your first red dot for a red dot pistol is it's a budget option under 300 bucks. It has an RMR footprint, so you can put it on probably a slide you own, or there may be a plate that goes RMR to whatever cut you have. Like you can go RMR to MOS or whatever. And also, it's a closed emitter. I really like that. So talking on the budget side, again, it's under 300 bucks. You could get this optic, put it on the slide you already have that you can convert to RMR with a plate, or it's RMR cut already. I think that was a really smart decision by Sealy to make this more accessible for people. But say you don't have a slide that you can mount an optic to. This AIM surplus slide, you could get set up with the internal parts, the barrel, and spend about 200 bucks and be set up for shooting a red dot pistol. Now this is a Foxtrot Mike barrel, so it wouldn't be the same Foxtrot Mike threaded barrel, but you could get into it at a low price. And even if you weren't like, I'm gonna carry it, you could just swap your slides real quick and shoot that. The other thing I really like about it is that it's a closed emitter. Now, you will hear lots of arguments for why people like open, why people like closed. My simple thing is I want to be able to drop my gun in the mud, pick it up, wipe off the glass, and then still be able to sight in on target. Open emitter, there's more things that go wrong with that. So I prefer closed, and having a solid, like I've tested it and it's been running great, a solid budget optic that's a closed emitter. I'm really thankful they did that. Like between that and the RMR footprint, like this thing makes a lot of sense, and that's why you're seeing it in a lot of places. Another thing I like about it is there's less features involved. So I have other red dots that I was very close to like just getting rid of all of them. But then my cop friend was like, he was like, hey, there's a thing you have to do for a factory reset, and they had to do it a bunch at their department. He's a firearms instructor at his department, Garrett Matson. If you train at Tactical Response, you probably know who I'm talking about. And he showed me how to factory reset those other optics, and I was like, okay, I'll keep these, but as a like a training gun, a loaner gun, but I'm not wanting to carry it anymore. So with it having less features, that's less dumb shit that can happen. All right. The only like real feature it has that's like a specialty thing is that it has shake awake. I would prefer it not to have shake awake, honestly. But for the people that like that, that's really cool. Now, the other thing with it, it has a 50,000 hour battery life, which is where I'm like, it doesn't need shake awake. And so even if you're storing this in your gun safe for long periods of time, I would change the battery just to make sure nothing stupid happens on the inside because of that battery getting too old or whatever. But it has a long battery life, and you can change the battery from the outside. Personally, with all the optics that have ever came out where you had to unmount the optic for the gun to change the battery, I'm like, that's stupid. I would never buy that. In fact, I waited on buying my first red dot for a pistol, until I could put a closed emitter with easy battery access, because I was like, those other ones are just too dumb. I wouldn't do it. So this fills that need that I personally have for a red dot on a pistol. One of the things I was asked to test specifically for this red dot by a YouTube commenter was, can you see it with a really bright white light? So I'm going to shine it against the wall. One thing I'll say is Florida in the sun, no issues. And I have had issues with other optics in the past where the battery starts getting like a little bit low, a little faster than I expected, and I can't really see my dot out in the Florida sun. This one I haven't had that issue with at all, and I don't think I've changed the battery on this optic at all. But let's do it. White light against the wall, and I'm putting the dot right in the hot spot, and I still see it. Highest setting, go down one, still see it, go down another, still see it, go down another, still see it, go down another, still see it. I kind of came out fast to say still see it, so I'm making sure I see it. And then I go down one more, and it becomes harder to see there. So multiple settings with 6,500 lumens where I can still see my dot against a white wall right next to me. So yeah, guys, I'm super happy with this optic. You can also get it in green. They have the Wolf G EDG, and that's the same dot, same RMR footprint, but in green. I prefer red, but if you want green, go ahead and get that. And then you can also get a similar build optic, but for the smaller footprint, the RMSC or the Holosun K footprint. You can get that as well for those smaller single stack guns. And I have another review coming up on another Sealy optic. I wish that one had been out, because I would have asked them to send me that one. And yeah, also they send me this for free, but I actually put it through classes and test it. So that's why I'm happy to make this video. Last thing, something I like to talk about with all red dot videos, you should own a red dot pistol, or at least a slide you can change out, because it will make you a better shooter. Practicing with just the dot or going and taking a class for using just the dot, it will show you exactly what you're doing when you're shooting. It'll show you when you're slow to recover. It will show you when that dot moves off to the side, why you're missing. Your iron sights, it doesn't really show you it. The dot feels like an exaggeration, but it shows you what you're really doing. That's why I've been so big on red dot pistols, because it gives you so much data. So even if you were like, I'm never gonna carry a red dot, you should own one that you can take classes with and that you can practice with, and especially dry fire with. That's it. Thank you for watching. Keep fighting communism. Kill all pedophiles. And remember that training saves lives.